We live in an era of hyper-curated wellness. We track our macros, prioritize organic ingredients, and invest heavily in clean living routines. Yet anxiety and burnout continue to rise at a record pace. This disconnect suggests a fracture in our modern systems. We have almost entirely isolated the physical act of consumption from the ethical methods we use to acquire our resources. We usually think of halal as a binary checklist, a simple set of dietary do's and don'ts. But viewed through a psychological lens, it functions more like a sophisticated defense mechanism for the human mind. In the Quran, Ayat 168 through 177 provide a specific blueprint for this defense, challenging our superficial definitions of what it means to live a clean life. This text suggests that a meal's nutritional value is only one half of the equation. The other half is the integrity of the wallet that paid for it. Most people define halal through the lens of permission, whether a specific food is technically allowed or forbidden by law. However, the text adds a second, vital requirement, tayyib. It translates to that which is wholesome, pure, and physically beneficial. True consumption happens at the narrow intersection where the lawful meets the wholesome. A legally permissible product fails this standard if it is physically destructive. By prioritizing items that are both clean and nourishing, we clear away the physiological fog that often contributes to a fractured mental state. This biological baseline serves as the innermost layer of a person's mental defense, ensuring the brain has the stable fuel required to process stress. When we consume items that are technically allowed but biologically harmful, we invite an internal friction that weakens our overall resilience. The purity of the input is also tied to its origin. Even a perfect organic fruit is considered tainted if the money used to buy it was acquired through exploitation or deceit. Modern commerce is often built on invisible weights: fraud, unfair trade practices, and the subtle manipulation of others for profit. Every unethical transaction carries that weight forward. When wealth is built on deceit, the resulting psychological burden settles directly on the end user. The ayah implement a mandatory preventative filter. They demand ethical business practices as a prerequisite for consumption, ensuring the input is clean before it reaches the table. This second layer of the shield protects the mind from the low-level, pervasive anxieties that stem from participating in dishonest or extractive systems. Honest acquisition provides a foundation for mental peace. It is the realization that your growth hasn't come at the expense of someone else's well-being. Verse 177 serves as the climax of this logic, shifting the focus away from the performative aspects of religion, such as which direction a person faces during prayer. It introduces the concept of bir, or true righteousness, as the force that binds these physical and ethical layers together. This righteousness is defined by action, the absolute fulfillment of contracts, and the keeping of one's word, even when it is difficult. It is further defined by the redistribution of wealth, giving to those in need out of genuine love for others, rather than a sense of cold obligation. When we combine the honoring of promises, the practice of charity, and the maintenance of patience during hardship, we create the structural pillars of a righteous life. This ecosystem of clean consumption and fair trade produces a durable framework for internal stability, regardless of external circumstances. When pure food, ethical commerce, and righteous character overlap, they form a unified shield that guards the individual from the stresses of modern life. This system provides a way to repel the spiritual exhaustion that comes from hyper-consumerism and the constant pressure to accumulate more. The halal framework establishes a protective perimeter, specifically designed to preserve human peace within a volatile world. True mental health isn't found by simply adding another wellness routine. It is achieved by purifying the entire ecology of what we eat, how we work, and how we treat others.